So ladies, welcome to FrightFest. Is this your first time at the festival?
It is, yes.
Yeah, my first time as well.
And I think you guys have all been here for a few days. Have you had a chance to check out much of the sites here?
We have, yeah. We went to Black Mold yesterday, which one of our castmates, Jeremy Holm, is also in. So yes, he's the real MVP of this year's FrightFest.
So horrifying, so delightful. Oh, Jeremy Holm,
Yes.
love him, yeah.
And we also went to see Dr. Semmelweis because we love Mark Rylance so much.
And when you guys got the script for this project, what was it about this script that spoke to you and made you want to be a part of it?
For me, it's become really important to espouse community support, where I think that everyone is aware all over the world how divisive American politics have become and how they continue to create more and more divisions and more bigoted ways of thinking that are almost contrary to human nature. And our movie, I think, tackles that so common herd mentality and has a lot to say about what that way of thinking has to offer us, and it's bleak and pussy.
Both of those things, yes. For me, it was a couple of things. I really loved just the world of the script. When I read it, it was early 2021, and I thought, oh, this movie was written in 2020 in the best way. It's absolutely not an direct analogy to 2020, but it's very much stewing in a lot of the same artistic juices in terms of just where we are as a society, in terms of our collective trauma from each other, from the pandemic, all of those things. And secondly, I was just really drawn to the character of Jamie. I just felt like when I read it, I immediately knew where she lived in me, and I just felt like I would run through a wall to be able to get to play the character. So yeah, it was. I fell in love with the story that it was telling, but also the character at the same time. Yeah.
And it still seems so rare where, especially in a modern setting, that you see a same-sex pairing. Was that something as well, how was that getting to, offer that representation for people?
I mean, I think it's incredibly important to get more queer representation, especially in horror movies, where there's been some, but I think less, particularly as the leads. And for me, I identify as a queer person, and so it always means a lot to me to get to play a queer person. I play a lot of Republican lawyers and sad moms, but I would much rather play a queer action hero. Yeah.
It also says a lot that it took me a very long time to recognize I was the only non-white person on set. Not on set, but in the cast, and that was deliberate. And so I was also representing just the person who has been on TV and in film for decades, representing, what stardom looks like. Like I'm an alternative. Mm-hmm. I'm here. I exist. I am also human, and of course, getting to represent a queer couple, also just humans who, hurt the same way everyone else does and need help and can offer help the same way everyone else can and does. And
if I can say one more thing. Didn't mean to interrupt you, my love. I think it's so important that this movie is a queer story as well, because I think it's very much about the way in which we judge other people and the way in which Jamie feels like she has been judged. So I think it's integral to the story. It's not just kind of like they happen to be queer. Yeah.
I agree. And my final question for you guys is, now that this film's out, have you got any other projects lined up that you're allowed to talk about?
We are currently in a strike.
Yes.
So we're not
going to talk about any other projects.
Yeah, can't really cast, can't really.
Okay, so let's change that question up and then go. What are your hopes for Herd? I know it's getting released in the US in October. Why should people take a chance on this film?
I think that this is a film that provides a really fun time for horror fans, but I think that it also has a lot more on its mind. I don't think it's not judgmental, it's not didactic in the least, but I think there is a lot in it that is holding the mirror up to nature of our time right now. And so I think that for people who want to leave a movie where they had a really good time, but also think about the state of the world a little bit, this is the perfect film.
Yeah, and I think it's also important that every individual person consider where they draw the line between their home and someone else's home. You can be more inclusive. We all have that choice.
It's really good. And I'm going to let you guys go and enjoy your premiere, enjoy your day. Thank you very much. Thank you.